Hi, we're going to be talking about how to plant our tomato plants. So if you got one of our plants, should be right around the 12 to 14 inch range, even a little 16 inches like this guy. We plant a little differently than some of the others. We're an organic gardening or natural gardening type situation. So the first thing you want to do is pick a nice tall plant. Okay, so make sure you got a good plant, good root system, everything good to go. I tend not to like the little itty bitty plants because there's no way to bury them deep, and I like burying them deep. The first thing I do in my hole is I take a banana, I split it in half, and then I take it and split it in half again. I throw that right in the bottom. I take a little dirt and put it over the top. Next thing I do is I stick an egg in there. Whole egg, preferably a natural egg if you can find them. That's part of the deal. And I put that down to the bottom. And I just, like I said, just get enough dirt just to cover that up. Next thing I'm going to do is do the hardest thing I do as a gardener, which is pick off all these leaves all along the bottom, and I just throw them into the bottom. Okay? So I pick off, so I have tons of area with no root, with no plant whatsoever on them. And I just throw those into the bottom. Come down here close to and I just squeeze the pot, and you'll notice the roots on this plant, if you could see them, are just crazy, and they're going straight down. So they're not root bound. You'll see a lot of times when the roots wrap around the plant. What this is allowing, because we bottom water, is that all the roots are heading straight down. I mean, just amazing root systems you get on our plants. So we take this guy, I'm going to set it off to the side because we're going to use that in a minute. I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to put him in the ground, down nice and deep. I'm going to take a little bit of our worm castings, some mycorrhizae, and I'm a big fan of the Rainbow Mix Pro by Earth Juice. It's an organic fertilizer that has mycorrhizae in it. And I'm just going to dust that over the root system all the way up and down the stalk. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take our nice good dirt that we just pulled back out, and I've dug down to the point where I have that nice black dirt. It's not dried up, nothing wrong with it. I'm going to bury this plant in that trench that we've made all the way up to right there. Okay? Now the reason we do that is so this plant will grow roots everywhere that it's touching the soil. All those little hairs that run down the root system or down the stalk there are going to grow roots. So the last thing we do is I kind of dig out a little hole here right above our roots, and I bury our pot that it came in. Okay? Now the reason I do that is now I have, one, I know exactly where the roots are, and I can feed our feedings or our teas directly to the roots. Okay, so I put that in there. That allows me to be able to pour in without spilling it all over the place and wasting a lot of my nutrients that I'm going to be putting on the plants. And you have a plant ready to go that has a nice proactive fertilizer that we put right on that will act right away. And we have the bananas, and the egg is going to be kind of a longer lasting fertilizer. And then adding those, the worm castings in there really gets everything going. Do you have to do all this work? No. I mean, a simple couple dabs of a fertilizer, even if you went down and got this stuff, it's fairly cheap, $10, $20, mattering where you buy it, how much you buy. It's a really good fertilizer. It kind of works with everything, but it has mycorrhizae already built into it, and it also has your other items that you're going to need in a kind of a well-balanced fertilizer. I think it's the best well-balanced fertilizer that you can grow. Now, this is not an OMRI rated fertilizer, so if you're an organic only type situation, that's something you need to look at. They put a lot of minerals in here, which makes it a natural fertilizer, but not an organic fertilizer. So I like it just for that reason. But as you can see, the hardest thing I do is putting that plant way down there like that, so it's only just barely sticking out of the dirt. And you give it that giant root system. Instead of burying a little itty bitty plant that far in the dirt, you know, that's the only root system you're gonna get. I'm gonna get roots all the way up and down that sucker, about that tall. So when I pull this sucker out, you're gonna see big, big root system. So, as always, have a great day, and thank you very much for tuning in.